What came up to share today is going to assist us to live a freer, more aligned life and have a deeper understanding of the multi-dimensional reality. And so what came up was this idea of good people. And when we think about this concept, initially it feels good. We think, oh, a good person, that sounds great. They must be kind and peaceful, or whatever we think is good. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because this is subjective. And if there is a good person, that must mean there is a bad person. Yet everyone at their core is source energy, their divine essence, that I call the diamond. We can also call the true self, higher self, soul. And this is the core of every human. And so when we look at it this way, we can see that literally everyone is what I would call good. And this idea of good and bad is simply a subjective way of looking at reality. And what came to mind as I pondered this was that how this idea of being a good person is actually used for manipulative purposes. It's like, oh, I thought you were a good person. I don't know why, and you do that. And things like this. And so it reminded me that basically everyone is a mirror. And so some mirrors are mirroring what we do like about ourselves. Others are mirroring what we don't like or are unconscious of even. And what we as humans tend to do is we call the mirrors that we do like the good people, and the mirrors mirroring something that we don't like about ourselves as the bad people. But are they really bad if they are showing us what is within us? Because we are the same. We attracted that vibrationally. So does that make us a bad person? No. So this is where this concept starts to break down. And what I could see here was that when we have an identity as a good person, like if enough people call us a good person and we incorporate that into our identity, we can be manipulated to continue being thought of in that way by other egos. And so this is where learning to trust ourselves, trust our higher self perspective, trust what we're receiving from within comes in. Because we have to be able to act on our intuitive guidance regardless of what anyone else says. And this has happened to me recently, of like, oh, these people used to think I was a good person, and now they think I'm a bad person because I simply stood up for myself, or I set a boundary, or I spoke my truth, or any of these things. So it's all subjective, and it really doesn't mean anything, because we're all source, we're all on a journey. And the programming that we're operating from, the patterns, the conditioning, this stuff is all illusions. And so what are illusions? They're nothing. They're all illusions of fear, which is nothing. And so when you think about it, all are good, and what we perhaps deemed as not good was just nothing anyway, because it was just an illusion that someone believed in. And because we're such powerful creators, we can form our entire reality around illusions. So this is how that plays out. And this came up to share because I feel that someone out there needs to hear this. You are not a bad person when you stand up for yourself, when you set boundaries, when you speak your truth. And it's coming back again to listening to how we feel around certain people, how we are intuitively guided to. And here is the kind of double-edged sword too, because if we don't feel good around someone, they could just be mirroring something back, but it also could be a sign that that energy is not helpful for us and it's time to move on from it. So it's up to you to use your discernment, and sometimes it's both, quite frankly. And that's happened to me, is that it's not only a mirror, but once I receive the information from the mirror and remove the programming, then it did not serve my good anymore to remain in proximity or remain speaking with or engaging with certain energies. And so I remove myself, or I set a boundary, etc., etc. Yet this was very difficult for me in the beginning because I had this identity of being a good person. And so with what I'm wanting to share today is we can just throw that out the window and realize that all people are good people. And if someone is telling you, oh, they're a good person because they think, because it's also a subconscious manipulation of a good person is someone that does what I want them to. So check that out. That's what most humans would consider a good person, is someone that basically panders to their ego, someone that does what they want. And this is, it's not free. It's not living your authenticity. And so that's why when we come into this information, we will live a more free life. And we will be more listening to our intuitive guidance on how to navigate the situation. So we will be more in alignment. And at the very least, setting the intention to be open to receiving guidance and setting the intention to be in alignment with our true self. And we also have this deeper understanding of the multi-dimensional reality, that everyone is source within. Everyone is good. Everyone is pure unconditional love. They've just layered on programs and patterns to various degrees, and that is the distortion that each one is dealing with. Yet that's what we came here to experience. So no one is bad for having programming. No one is bad for having any belief. Because our entire journey is gently nudging us back to our true self, which is basically a journey of letting go of what is not us. And we can do this willingly, or we can allow crisis and different things to happen so we really shake ourselves up and out of it. Or we can maybe take information and then do this in another life. But I know for you watching this video, you're like me. We want to do it consciously. We want to do it now. We want to be free now and have the best possible time in this current lifetime. And so this is where we're going. And I genuinely hope that this message will assist you with these goals. and yeah, so that is what has been on my heart today. I'd also like to mention that I offer one-on-one spiritual consultation, and every time I've ever worked with someone, the results have been profound on all levels, not only on a human physical level, but energetic, spiritual, everything. Because I have a multi-dimensional approach, and I have assistance from the non-physical, and of course my higher self, and I'm communicating with your higher self, who is letting me know what is best to share with you, what is best to work on energetically to get you to your next level. And so I just wanted to mention that. And there's information in the description box. You can sign up on my website, and I would love to speak with you. And so with that, I am going to send you much love and blessings on your journey today, and I will see you in the next one.